I like that all the hostages have names. They're not just like a hostage.
Thanks.
This is Carl Todd,
okay?
maintenance guy.
I'm fine. I eat punks like these for breakfast.
What a shit line.
It's a
What are they
very
doing in
not
here?
great line.
No.
The ones that weren't hitting me went over there and started doing something to the power controls. I have no idea what they were doing.
Blah blah blah.
Looks like
it looks
Joker
like a
has
bomb.
booby-trapped this control box. It's going to
Yeah.
be tougher than before, but it's a risk I'll need to take.
It's a risk I'll need to take.
You got to expect this shit from Batman at this
Oh
stage.
yeah, absolutely. Did I say it was wrong?
That's true.
I think it's going to set off the bomb, isn't it? Or a timer.
Oh, you mean hacking the thing that the bomb is attached to might set off the bomb? Do you reckon?
Look, what do you want from me? I'm doing fine, thank you.
Actually,
I didn't even do that.
I talk shit, but there we go.
Looks like
Splendiferous.
power to the generator.
Now you can go swimming.
Yeah, that's definitely a voice you could just about picture saying, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. Perhaps the greatest moment in all of the Adam West. So,
Yeah.
It's certainly one of the most iconic moments.
it's just, yeah, it's a lot of fun, the Adam West ones. I think they had their place in for good or for evil, still popularizing it. Like, that is what my dad's generation think of. Well, it's what my dad specifically thinks of when he thinks of Batman, is the Adam West stuff, because that was what was kicking around when they were growing up. And it's like,
It's actually a lot closer to like Silver Age Batman comics that a lot of people like to remember.
and stuff like that is important for basically. Batman never really left popular culture for more than a few years at a time. Like, we
No.
talk about how Batman and Robin nearly killed it, but Batman and Robin was 98?
And then
7-ish?
Blades comes out in 99.
Yeah. And then Batman Begins was early 2000s?
Frank Miller described Batman as a diamond, impossible to break.
Yeah, I think he's right in that. It's like, it's...
I mean, not only
Batman
is
has
it-
changed form a lot, but has been relatively present in popular culture, basically since its inception.
Yeah, not only that, like, I mean, that's true on multiple levels, isn't it? Like, because he's psychologically indestructible, like, he's uncorruptible, he's all good, all just, like, has this code that he sticks to. But,
Yeah.
like, he never goes away.
Yes and no. My favourite Batman renditions, aside from the animated series, which is wonderful, are when he admits failing and when he's like, I love old grumpy Batman who's trying to instruct new people to be Batman, because when he's trying to instruct people to be supporters, he just turns them into shitty supporting characters and doesn't give them autonomy.
The whole Bat family problem, yeah.
But when he admits to himself, he can't do it anymore, and he's trying to direct people, it's like, no, you can't do it this way, you have to do it this way. They're like, why? And he's like, because I say so. Oh, fuck.
Because I'm Batman, I'm your patriarch.
Yeah, and he kind of accepts that they don't, even though he doesn't like it, and he doesn't give up, but he also understands. And I love that difference.
Yeah.
I love to see Batman who has gone through all of these morals and realised, I can't give up my morals, but I can also understand why other people don't do it. And he doesn't accuse them of being horrible people. He accuses them of not sticking to the mission. And it's like, yeah, but that's your mission, mate.
Yeah.
It's interesting how he changes with the times as well, because, like, obviously, dark, gritty Batman isn't really in as much in vogue as he used to be. Now, there is the notion of the Bat family, however false and toxic that might be. Like, writers willfully try to portray him as a family man.
And big disagree there, Bardo. Unfortunately, DC realised in 86, if we make our comics dark and gritty, they'll do well. And they haven't realised, no, that was what was needed at the time, and now what we need is earnest and sincere heroes.
Yeah, I think that's Ledger's legacy to a fair extent there as well, is that the Dark Knight cemented
Dark
DC as the dark one, and then Marvel very much painted
that
themselves
absolutely
as
went back to 86. I'm sorry.
as in like the two types of superhero thing.
Because in 1986, when everything changed and it was like, right, dark and gritty it's so marketable, because it was at the time, because all comics were these, oh no, must stop for kittens in the road as we chase Joker down the street. And, heroes were perfect. They were so perfect. They were just empty vessels of perfectness.
Do you know off your top of the head where were Marvel at in that time period?
Of course I do. So in 85, Frank Miller was given
That was an interviewer's
Daredevil.
question, not a real question.
Fair. In 1985, Frank Miller was given Daredevil, and he basically
he was credited with basically
reviving Daredevil, because Daredevil was basically dead, and he was this like weird little unknown, and they were like, right, yeah.
As a Daredevil was or Frank Miller was?
Both. Frank Miller was. Daredevil just was unpopular, so they were like, right, we're gonna get rid of it. We'll give this kid a try.
Daredevil is kind of quite Batman-y in a lot of ways.
He's very
He is
Batman-y.
now, but he wasn't at the time.
I mean, the fact that Frank Miller was writing both of them probably isn't entirely
It's
coincidence.
other way round. So Frank Miller took Daredevil and took it in really weird directions, and it suddenly became massively popular because he was this like anti-hero, not quite anti-hero, but he was a complicated hero. He was angry, he had problems,
And the
he
vigilante hero, I think, was not a super common trope until that time.
yeah,
Even though Batman was kind of that, but he was also...
but he wasn't, because he was doing things.
he was the
Because he
moral
was working
warrior.
with the
Yeah.
police, and he
Yeah.
dropped off criminals with the police
There's been
with a
plenty-
nod and a
there's been
smile.
plenty-
More like Spider-Man in that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Plenty of imitations since. I mean, like, look at characters like Moon Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still need to watch Moon Knight. I've heard it's actually pretty good.
It's got my man,
I was going to say, you're always going to watch it because you've got a massive fucking crush on not Jason Isaacs.
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac. Jason Isaacs is fucking Lucius Malfoy.
Bizarrely, also got a bit of a crush on Jason Isaacs. But
Really?
Not a bad looking man.
Really?
I really admire him as an actor. I really
Right,
like him.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
he's pretty
sorry.
good.
I'd take Kevin Conroy over him any
He
day.
voices Ra's al Ghul in the Batman thing.
Does he really?
In what's it called? That one with also John DiMaggio in.
Where-
that you hated, Sprite. What was it?
Help me out, there's a lot of things.
With your man from Dean from Supernatural was Red Hood. I think it was called Under the Red Hood or something like that.
I have clearly just obliterated it from my memory.
Yeah. So
I mean, other than the
John
fact-
DiMaggio is the Joker.
Interesting.
Yeah, Jensen Ackles, who have you watched The Boys yet?
No, fair enough.
He's Soldier Boy in The Boys.
How have you
as
not
well.
watched The Boys?
I've read it, and that was just as much as the boys that I needed, really.
The Amazon series is actually really fucking good. The guy who plays Homelander is fucking horrifyingly fantastic.
I have heard as much.
Yeah,
He's-
it's you know the effect everyone had with Game of Thrones when everyone was like, Christ, the guy who plays Joffrey is horrific.
Except
And then
Joffrey was painful to watch, whereas
Homelander's fucking
Homelander
painful
is
to-
uncomfortable, but not in quite the same
So
way.
I love Homelander as a character because
You shouldn't.
no, like, but, like the notion of like, what if Captain America and Superman were the same guy? But what if he was an absolute bastard?
Not even a bastard, but just a freak.
Absolute
Yeah.
psychopath.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Nice little bit of Batman lore here. So you'll notice this statue right here doesn't have a head.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll notice that down here
Is the head.
Well, there's her head for one thing, but Constance Arkham was the wife of Amadeus Arkham. Okay,
Ah.
and
And someone scrawled Mad Dog over it.
yes, she was murdered by a psychopath called Mad Dog,
Ah.
whatever his face
The
was.
MD 2020 killer.
Very good. But he was one of the first inmates at Arkham that Amadeus tried to rehabilitate, and he failed, and he broke loose and killed Arkham's wife.
Ah.
And then Arkham absolutely tried to rehabilitate him, but like under the pretense of like he wanted to send him to the chair eventually, which he did.
Yeah.
Hang on, there's like a person back here that I thought I had just finished beating up.
No, he's gone to sleep forever. Don't worry.
No,
Oh, it's the janitor.
this person wasn't here before.
Are you okay?
Do I look okay? They were gonna kill me. We were in the aviary hiding.
Yeah, the Boys is good and worth a watch, and yeah,
I'd like to see the boys.
it is worth it. But yeah, so the guy who plays Soldier Boy in The Boys is in Red Hood. I think it's still Conroy as Batman in it potentially. But yeah, it's John DiMaggio as the Joker, which isn't good, unfortunately. But yeah, Jason Isaacs is Ra's al Ghul.
Other than the fact that he's not Arabic, that's otherwise great casting.
Yeah, he does it well. Like Jason Isaacs is a good voice actor because he was in a lot of the.
Interesting.
He was in Avatar quite a lot, as in
Yeah, he's the villain the first season.
yeah, the like not blue people Avatar. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
Last Airbender,
he's
yeah.
General what's his face in the first season.
Oh, what's he called? But yes.
Zhao?
Yeah, the guy who steals the moon. Yeah, it is Zhao. Yeah.
I'm sorry, steals the moon?
He literally imprisons the moon spirits, like the two koi fish in that pond. He imprisons one of them and kills it, and
Yeah.
then they're still doing a Netflix live action series of that, which is they've revealed the casting on it. Almost all of whom are fairly enough unknown Asian actors. George Takei is of course in it because
You have
can't,
to.
you can't do something like that and not include George Takei. Takei,
Takei.
I think. Yeah,
He wasn't in the anime, was
he was. Yeah.
Who's he in the cartoon?
Oh, he's in one episode. He's like the head of some Fire Nation base, and the moment he starts
okay.
speaking, you're like, well, that's obviously
Oh yeah,
George Takei. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you thought you could come here with some rocks and reinvigorate these earthbenders? They are broken. Like, there's a really good thing where, like, he's yeah.
Oh, is he maybe the warden at the Fire Nation prison? Is that maybe his character?
Yeah, but it's really earlier. It's not the boiling rock one. It's an earlier
okay.
one where basically, like, yeah, they're on this like metal thing, and the good guys come in and like bring some rocks in. They're like, you guys can earthbend now, and George Takei's like, it's not lack of Earth that's making them not Earthbend. It's the complete lack of like will to fight. Like, I've broken them. You don't understand this. He's quite a compelling villain for a single episode.
I mean,
But he's
also George Takei has a brilliant voice.
Yes.
fantastically so.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could just listen to that man all day.
Oh.
Still need to watch the
I guess I
second
failed that
season
one.
of The Terror.
Played you like a violin and
Yeah, we still need to watch that.
Yeah, I just need to get it.
99.
Did you ever watch The Terror, Bard?
The what, sorry?
The Terror.
The Terror.
So it's first off, this is my favourite fact ever. It's named after a British ship that was called HMS Terror, which is a
Brilliant.
fantastic name. But it was two ships that went on a lost mission to find the Northeast Passage. So like the passage around the top of America to the Pacific.
Which actually does exist, right?
Which did exist. The passage existed. These two ships existed. We still haven't found what happened to them. It's probably they sank and their men went on land and resorted to cannibalism. Seems to be where all the evidence points.
Horrifying.
But this is like a reimagining of that with a spooky twist of like, what if it wasn't just that they went around, they fell foul of some supernatural shit. But they did the series. It's quite good. And then they did a second series, which is kind of, it's a bit kind of American Horror Story thing. Of they're like, you know what, we want this to be a anthology of vaguely related horror-y stories. And so the second season is based in a Japanese-American internment camp. And features... Oh yeah, there you go. And features George Takei, who was famously
In one of
in
those.
an internment camp. And he stars in it, but also he was there on set. Because if they got stuff wrong, he was like, well, I was here. Like, this is how internment was done. Because he is really old, it turns out.
Yeah.
He's like mid-80s.
I did a bunch of reading
It looks
recently
great.
about like the conflict in the Pacific Theater, and like it's weird that the American government set up internment camps for Japanese
Yeah.
Americans, but not German Americans.
Yeah, because they're at least
Gee, I wonder why.
they're good-blooded Europeans at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't look different in the way that the Japanese do. Yeah, it's real icky.
Yuck.
Right, I need to concentrate here because I failed this twice consecutively, and it's annoying me now.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's fine.
well, I'll go back to the Marvel versus DC in
Yeah, we'll talk shit.
86.
Just shoot us out. You can take your headphones off if you want. Actually, you probably need some audio cues.
Yeah. So, Marvel and DC both realised in 1985-86 that there was a real appetite for modern heroes who were complicated, who were problematic, who were angry,
As in, we're basically going beyond the 50s stereotype of like
who were imperfect.
Yeah.
So there was a big push for that, and that's where this whole new wave of comics and stories came from. Personally, I'm very fond of that. As you know, I like characters to be interesting, not just two-dimensional.
But you're not fond of the dark stuff, is the funny thing.
Obviously, I am, but the dark
Not
stuff
for
was
its own
really appropriate
sake,
at the
yeah.
time. But we've moved on from that now. You
I
can.
think arguably we're going back.
Okay,
there, but I
DC
think-
hasn't. and
No,
that's the
I mean,
issue.
just in terms of, I feel like in a lot of ways, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some of the cultural stuff that probably caused the drive for those kind of characters in the 80s is perhaps circling back around.
It is, but that was needed at the time
Shitty right-wing
because.
conservative governments.
But that was needed at the time because there was nothing discussing complicated heroes.
Yeah.
Whereas now we have nothing but complicated heroes, and sometimes it's nice to have heroes who are just decent.
Yeah. It's
And
the,
who
it-
sometimes get things slightly wrong, but who
it's
are
the-
decent.
It's the Black Panther problem. Black Panther has a complicated hero and a complicated villain to the point where it's not inherently clear which is the good one.
Other
I-
than one does more extreme things.
I found Killmonger to be perhaps as if not more sympathetic than T'Challa in some ways.
In some ways,
every
yeah.
way the film was framed didn't seem like so we're supposed to support the hereditary monarch in this.
Yes, but at the end of the day, we were on his
Yeah.
his side. We did understand why he'd grown up in America and he had a lot of anger and he was trying to say no, we need to help everyone.
Yeah.
That's a really good point. But at the end of the day, he wanted to help everyone by enslaving everyone.
Well, that's the thing, and that's where we're at the moment. Where I think we're at a stage where we've got to genuinely modern stuff, really good, like nuanced villains.
Only
But
if you're a
to-
man.
Yes, that is a thing, and that is a problem, definitely. Yeah.
But Marvel is once again it's very successful because it's looking at new ways.
Yeah.
And Marvel is evolving. It's not just going, well, do you know what, this worked in the 80s, so we're just going to go dark
Yeah.
and gritty again.
But I think you've got the thing now of like, as you say with your man in Black Panther, the problem is at the moment the only thing really in some ways that differentiates the villains is just their methods.
Yeah.
Like, their concepts and their philosophy, it's like, back in even as late as the 80s, what differentiates the villain is, well, they want to take over the world. Their goals are very different.
Yeah.
But nowadays, their goals are, in some ways, and it's like this kind of, wow. This links back to what we were saying about Poison Ivy, that it's like, their goals are pretty understandable, but you have to push their methods as being, well, this is why they're a villain, because they're going the wrong way about it.
But that's really important as a society to understand. All politicians are a little bit evil because they all want power. But some politicians want power so that they can, do their vision for what's best for everyone for the future.
Yeah, the kind of conceptual separation of methods and goals, I think, is worthwhile for society to think about.
And to understand and to see that you can disagree with someone's endpoint but still think they're a good person.
Or equally think that, someone's aiming for the right thing but their methods are wrong, but also seeing their methods in the right place but their goal is not.
And that it's completely understandable to have that discourse and that understanding, and it's good that our media is doing that kind of thing for men. And it's good to include that, but DC is still stuck on protect your mother and everything's dark and gritty. And it's like DC just hasn't realised it needs to move on. What made it popular in the 80s is not quite so viable now.
See, I think I talked about this briefly earlier. I can't remember if it was on camera or it may have been off camera, but I think genuinely, by a huge margin, the most enjoyable DC film I've watched of late was Shazam.
Yeah, I love Shazam.
It's actually fun.
Yeah.
It was fun, but also really good, and had a lot of
and
really
very hard-hitting.
really good and important, and actually hard-hitting messaging about,
family.
Yeah, family and fitting in. A lot of that stuff was pretty solid in that film, to be honest.
Like, yeah,
in
that was
in a way that
fantastic.
fucking caught me off guard with a very dumb film was that, and the absolute stone cold seriousness with
Mark
which
Strong.
fucking Mark Strong plays the villain.
He's a great villain character.
Do you know what?
Mark Strong is so I think I've talked about this before on the channel, but Stardust is one of my favourite films. And Mark Strong 100% sells that, but Mark Strong is the only reason why the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes film is actually fairly entertaining, because Mark Strong is fucking great as basically a vampire in that.
Lord Blackwood, isn't he?
Yeah, he can, and it completely threw me in Shazam because he plays it incredibly straight.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, here we go. The mouse is back on the thing.
Look who's discovered our secret lab. Since you've made it this far, let me show you what I've cooked up.
Oh no, Joker.
Yeah, 2 Titan bros. Yeah, you see how this works?
It's me whenever I see chocolate.
Just Hulk out. It's the spinal stuff that gets to me. We can take these fools. Maybe?
You got this, Bard. I believe in you.
I actually really like this boss fight. Alright, guys. Hit them, Batman, come on! Alright, need them to run at me again. Come on, boys! Batarang! Dodge! Batarang! Dodge! Yeah, that's it, get him! Yes! Yes!
Ride that giant beast.
Smash him! Hit him in the face! It's a buster, massive monster, mamma jam! That's it. Get him. Get him. Hit him again. Oh, can I do it without getting hit? Can I do it without getting hit, Sprite?
If you do it without getting hit, I will take a full shot.
That sounds great to me.
If you do it whilst getting hit, I will do a normal shot. Our shot glasses are massive.
Oh. There we go. And then now I'll just play highly conservatively.
Bard, I beg you, please get hit. I don't want to take a double shot. That's not going to be good.
This way. Oh, he's down. I missed an opportunity to attack him. Maybe we can get over here.
Well, I heard from upstairs there's some vague shouting about the sprite doing a double shot. What's crack?
If the bard
is he
doesn't
fighting
get
Croc?
hit,
No, it's just too big.
No,
too
big souped up
Oh,
guys.
it's those lads from earlier that blew
Yeah.
up.
Get him.
Yeah.
Get him.
There's been a lack of Crocs so far. I'm assuming that's building to something.
Oh
but
yeah, don't worry. I think we're going to get
The gun is
something from
smouldering.
it, actually.
But yeah, if the bard doesn't get hit in this fight and wins, I have to do a double shot, and I don't want it like a full shot glass.
Right to the rim, because those are 40 mil shot glasses, which is technically illegal.
No, you can do doubles.
Not 40 mil. You can't. A double is officially 35 mil according to the Weights and Measures Act brackets.
No, a
Scotland.
double is
Skadoosh!
2 of a measure, so it can
2 of
be
what
up to
you've
50.
defined under
Yeah.
the Weights and Measures Act. Okay, right, fair. He's doing pretty good, to be honest. I think you should get pouring, Sprite.
Oh fuck no!
Don't promise the man this.
I could still fuck it up.
Like,
It's
don't
unlikely.
challenge the bard to a drinking competition, and perhaps don't challenge him to a gaming competition when drinking is on the line. Never bet your life
Never
when...
mess with the bard when death is on the line.
Oh shit!
I can't believe they never got Rex from Toy Story to say
Nailed it.
inconceivable.
I know.
Oh my god, it's the
Alright.
same guy, isn't it?
Yes, well, it's Sean. He was also in Desperate Housewives, as bafflingly.
Ah shit!
Strain.
Crushed it.
I
Right.
did not pour any on my leg.
Photograph incoming. No, more. It needs to be up to the rim.
able to carry it.
Fine.
If her
Will you hold it up for the nice people to see?
Put it next to Dad's boot.
I mean, that makes it look like a tiny joke shot, so will you hold it up over there? There you go. And I assure you, the sprite does not have tiny hands. Your hands look a bit scaly, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's because I've been shifting shit around. Alright, fuck. Okay, I cannot do this in one gobful. I can't. My throat is not
Well,
that
you
big.
shouldn't have promised it then,
No,
frankly.
but I'll do it one after the other. Right.
Right.
Fuck me.
Sorry, Sprite.
That is half, and then she's going for the monster. Her face is starting to grimace. Oh, she's done like, you know the face in The Simpsons when Homer bites into the not Homer, but like the lemon one of like, yeah, she's doing the lemon face. Oh, she's gagging.
Oh shit! I nearly just spewed.
Yep. That gag was close to the surface. Good lord.
I'm not proud of this Sprite, but nevertheless, this is what you offered?
Yeah, you like. Frankly, I love you, but you did this to yourself.
Yeah, I appreciate I did that to myself.
Something to get over this reveal.
Honestly, never thought you'd do that without getting hurt.
He's like, I don't say this lightly. He's surprisingly good.